How's it going, wrestling fans? It's the MUX Wrestling Show, back here again with another video. This time it's going to be the TLC 2016 review, and before I get into the actual review, I'm just going to say one simple thing. You know, if I have to summarize the whole pay-per-view and how I felt about it in a couple of words or a couple of sentences, I'll say I was hyped for the show and it delivered. That's all I'm going to say for this pay-per-view. I mean, I had high expectations, and it certainly delivered, and it made me happy as a wrestling fan, and that's what Monday Night Raw does not do. So it's just, you know, I'm happy. It's Monday morning, or, yeah, it is morning. It's 11:15 a.m., so I'll get into the pay-per-view now. The pay-per-view was from Dallas, Texas. Now, I don't know if it's just, like, if it's just me or everybody notices this and hates it, but they're giving a lot of their pay-per-views to Texas for some reason. San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, Texas, whatever it is, it's just in Texas for some reason. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Royal Rumble's in Texas as well. If you know, I can't really, I don't remember. I think it is in Texas, and then Survivor Series next year is in Texas. When they showed, you know, the Survivor Series ads, when they showed the ad in the Air Canada Center here, when Survivor Series 2016 was taking place, everybody booed it. Now, I don't know if they booed it because it was in America, or I don't know if they booed it because it was in Texas, or I don't know. I don't know why they booed it, but I was one of the people who booed, and my reason for booing was Texas again. You know, I have nothing against the state. I have nothing against Houston or Dallas or whatever is there in Texas, San Antonio, whatever. Nothing against them. It's just that I'm sick and tired of this crowd, man. The crowd was so dead tonight. There were a couple of times when the crowd was fun. They were chanting, they were loud, but then most of the part they were dead. So the first match, I'm not going to do the pre-show. Just because I didn't even watch the pre-show, and to be very honest, I don't care about the pre-show. The only positive that I have from the pre-show is that even though it wasn't a pay-per-view, but it kind of was, Apollo Crews got to be on, you know, on the network, or you know, he wasn't on TV, but he was on the network, and he got that win alongside. See, I don't even remember who it was. I think American Alpha, and. Yeah, I think that's it. I think it was the three of them, but I don't remember exactly. Maybe there were four guys, but I don't care. I'm just glad Apollo Crews got to be on the network. So the first match is Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton versus Heath Slater and Rhino for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Now this match, you know, it was basically a squash match. It was dominated by Slater and Rhino. I'm fucking up so many times today. It was dominated by Randy and Bray. I'm just tired. I'm really tired. Sorry about that. But Randy and Bray dominated Slater and Rhino, basically. You know, they got maybe a couple of punches in. I think Slater got the momentum for like 10 seconds before Randy and Bray was, you know, they were all over him. And he was basically just, you know, squashed by these two. And this match... So they go outside the ring, and Harper's looking to gore or spear Randy Orton, and Luke Harper's standing. And Luke Harper pushes Randy out of the way, or stands in front of him and gets the gore by Rhino. Rhino's confused. Rhino's like, what's going on? And then, you know, he goes into the ring, and Bray Wyatt is doing his taunt where he's like, you know, upside down or whatever, the bridge. And he's looking at Rhino. Rhino's confused, like, what the hell are you doing? He's playing mind games and shit, right? So Randy Orton... comes into the ring, RKO out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3. Randy picks up the pinfall, and the Wyatt family are the new tag champions. And it's the first time that Bray Wyatt has ever won a championship on the main roster. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they ever won in NXT. Maybe Harper and Rowan were champions at the time. I don't remember. I don't think Bray has ever held gold or silver in this case in WWE, but good for him. Now, one thing that I like to say is, well, the family, first off, the Wyatt family looked strong. And the Wyatt family, you know, they had like the group itself, you know, they're building towards the tension, the Luke Harper, Randy, and Bray tension, and you know, it was so well put together. And I'd like to take a minute or two to discuss this match, because this match did not have a stipulation like the other TLC matches. It was a simple match, and it was amazing. That's what I loved about this match. You don't need to do anything with this match. Just book it properly, produce it properly. Whoever produced it, Fit Finlay, Pat Patterson, Michael Hayes, whoever, or Triple H, or Vince himself, whoever produced this match was smart. They did it easily, and it was brilliant. I loved it. Now after the match, this is the most important part of the match. Most important part of the match. So what happens is, now Luke Harper comes into the ring with the titles, and you know, he's holding both of the titles, and then he gives them to Randy and Bray, and you know, Bray raises the title up and puts it on the shoulder of Harper. Now Harper's looking at Randy like, "Are you gonna give me your title? Because I helped you. I helped your ass. You could have been gored. The titles would never have come to the Wyatt families." And Randy looks at Bray, looks at Harper, gives them the title. So they're building this unity, which is eventually going to end up in a feud. And it's going to be amazing the way they do it. And I don't know if they're doing the free bird rule, like where it's the free birds rule, where they're going to have Harper, Bray, and Randy as the tag champions, like they're doing with New Day. And once Eric Rowan comes back, I don't know if it's going to be 4 people holding on to the titles. I don't know what's going to happen, but again, a good simple match produced very well, and Raw needs to take notes from this. You know, just make it simple, man. You don't have to do anything. Now the next match, Nikki Bella versus Carmella. Now this feud, I hated it at first, because and you know, I wasn't wrong, but I thought it was to promote Total Divas or Total Bellas, and it really was. You know, the way they keep mentioning John Cena, like, you know, how Carmella is taking digs at Nikki, saying, "Oh, you want kids, you want that." That's the kind of shit they discuss on Total Bellas or Total Divas. You know, I don't watch it regularly. I watch it every now and then whenever there's a lot of buzz, like, "Oh my God, this is what happened on Total Divas," and then I'll go watch that episode. But you know, I don't watch it with a passion or regularly. Just maybe 2 episodes a season or something. So it's, you know, I thought this feud was about that, and it was, but the match itself, a no DQ match. Now, it was a weird match. The crowd wasn't into it. I personally was not into it because of 2 reasons, or 3. Number 1, Nikki Bella. Now, I've got a lot of respect for her, how she's improved over the years, but I will always look at Nikki Bella as a diva. And I'm sorry, like, you know, I will never look at her the same way I look at Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, or Asuka. You know, I won't look at her like that. I will always look at her as a diva. You know, she was the longest reigning Divas champion, and she was a part of that Divas era or whatever. And that's why I'm not a huge Nikki Bella fan. Secondly, you come to Carmella, who is kind of growing on me, but she's still kind of green, so I wasn't really excited about the match. They added flavor to the match with the real life injury, or you know how Carmella got hurt and she got punched in the face by Nikki. She had a black eye. They added that to the real match. You know, just I felt like they tried to make it more important than it already was. I mean, more important than it was. Like, it wasn't important at all, and then they tried to add flavor to it. Just didn't work out. They used kendo sticks and they used the fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher spot it's just stupid. It makes Carmella look like an idiot, but it is what it is. Nikki won. You know, the Racket Tag 2.0. She hit Carmella with it 1, 2, 3, got the pin. Now Nikki is gonna feud with Natalya because Carmella said Natalya attacked you backstage at Survivor Series. So we're gonna get into that once SmackDown comes this Tuesday, and we're probably gonna get a segment or maybe even a match of Nikki and you know, Nikki and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella, a random put together match, but it is what it is, man. I can't really complain. Nikki's going to go for Alexa's championship in the future. I think that's what they're building towards. We might see that at SummerSlam. That could very well happen, but I want to see where Carmella goes from here. I don't want her to get lost in the shuffle because I really started to like Carmella now. Then we go into Miz versus Ziggler for the ladder match for the IC championship. Now this match, I had high expectations, and it delivered. Ziggler versus Miz, I can see them wrestle over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Brilliant. These two work together like peanut butter and jelly. You put them together, it's magic. It's simple and it's magic. Just brilliant. Now this was a good hard-hitting match with good spots. You know, Miz working on Ziggler's legs using the ladders, or them being thrown off the ladders, or you know, just brilliantly put together. I love this match, and I have to talk about the selling. I mean, Ziggler is known for his selling, but Miz was right up there with Ziggler when it came to selling. There was one spot where Miz is hanging with the title, like he's holding onto the title and the thing that holds the title, the hook or whatever, right? And the ladder's not there. Ziggler pushes the ladder away. Now Miz is just standing there, and Ziggler knocks him down with the ladder. Now Miz drops on his feet, right? And he's selling his right leg or left. I think it was the right leg. And he's yelling, and I thought he was hurt. You know why I really thought he was hurt? He yelled out, "Oh, motherfucker!" And it was so loud, it was so clear on camera, like, you know, you could hear the sound. And I don't know if he was told to say that out loud to make it look real, or if he did that on spot. Whatever it was, scripted or on spot, you know, whether Miz did it on his own, he improvised it, amazing. That made me think that Miz was dead, and I was thinking, oh, what if they're going to put the title on Ziggler now? Because this pay-per-view was very predictable. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. Very predictable. But with this, I was like, holy shit, what's going to happen? Maybe Ziggler is going to win. What I did not like about this match was, what I liked about this match. This is the worst review. This is my third or fourth review, but I'm just excited. I want to get a lot of things out of me, and there's not enough time. Maryse, she did not get involved in this match. I loved it. This is the final feud of Ziggler versus Miz. You don't need Maryse. And she was there ringside, and she always, you know, whenever Ziggler went on the ladder and Miz was outside, I was like, okay, Maryse is going to push him off. Maryse is going to push him off. Maryse. She didn't do anything, and I loved it. Just let the two men fight, and they did brilliant. I loved this match, and I'm glad Miz got the win, man. Miz is just amazing, and I have been a Miz fan since the dirt sheet days with John Morrison. When he became the tag team champion, and you know, when he had the Slammy Awards, and then he became the U.S. champion. Loved it. Loved his U.S. championship reign. When he won Money in the Bank, I wanted him to win the title. He won the title. People hated it. I loved it. I'm glad Miz is being liked by everyone, basically. Now, every sensible wrestling fan, there are some idiots online who just don't understand how great the Miz is. Now, again, the two things that I want to take out of this match is, firstly, where is Ziggler going to go from here? He's, again, lost in the shuffle, so I don't know what's going to happen. What I'm thinking is, maybe what they can do is have Slater and Rhino feud against each other, where Rhino turns heel on Slater, like, I'm so done with you bullshit, we lost the tag titles or whatever. Like, they get their rematch with the Wyatts, they lose, and Rhino turns heel, because Rhino as a heel is a monster, right? So now you have this other heel in the mid-card. Now what you can do is, you know, Slater can move on to other things, he can make anything entertaining, and then you can have Ziggler as the face versus Rhino as the heel. I mean, it's gonna be a dull feud unless they add something to it, but I trust SmackDown. I know they can add something to it and make it important and make it worth your time. So I want to know where Ziggler goes from here. And the IC Championship, man, the IC title means something now. I mean, it was trashed and it was made to look like a piece of like, you know, it was just treated so bad in the past 5, 10, or how many years. But now it's important again, thanks to the Miz and Ziggler. These guys are killing it. If I think about people who should get the IC title from the Miz, it's Baron Corbin. But heel versus heel, two of the most hated heels. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I want Corbin to win the IC championship in the future. Talking about Corbin, next match, Corbin versus Callisto in a chairs match. Now, chairs match, the stipulation, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Why don't you just call it a no DQ match? Why call it a chairs match? What's the point? When there's a ladder match, you climb the ladder to take the title. When there's a tables match, you put the opponent through the table, you become the champion, or you win the match. What do you do with a chairs match? What's the whole point? I hate the stipulation, but I like the way they used the chairs. Chairs were the center point of this match. They were all, around the ring. They were then thrown into the ring by Callisto and Corbin. Just brilliantly done, man. This was the dullest match, if that's even a word, the dullest match of the night, and they made it look so important. And I'm so glad Corbin and Callisto worked their asses off to bring you this match, to bring me this match, and I was hella entertained. I felt like, I could have, I was thinking before the match, okay, I'll turn my phone on, I'll go through Facebook, whatever, who cares about this match? I'll look every now and then for the big spots or whatever. But no, the match started, and I gave it 3 minutes. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, I don't know exactly how long that match went for, but I watched every single second of that match, and I loved it. Callisto and Corbin, they looked great at the end, but, at the end, Corbin hits the end of days onto the steel chairs to Callisto. Simple and brilliant. That's the recipe of SmackDown. Keep it simple, and it's going to come off as something so beautiful, and that is exactly what this match was. And I'm glad Corbin won. I want him to win the IC Championship in the future. Now we've talked about a ladder match, we've talked about a chairs match. Let's move on to a tables match. Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship. You can see I'm smiling. You know who won. Alexa Bliss won. Love this match. I love this match. Again, I had such high expectations. I wanted it to be the match of the night, but just, it wasn't. It wasn't the match of the night. I'd say it was a tie between Ziggler, Miz, and Styles, Ambrose. And it's just, I wanted this match to be longer and better, but I'm happy with the ending, and my battery's about to die, 10%. That kind of sucks, but yeah, I'll get rid of it, whatever. I need to charge my laptop. But the match, man, I loved it. I loved the match. Now, Alexa Bliss is your champion, and what happened in the match was, first off, the match was kind of slow, and then they started setting the tables up. Becky sets up the table outside, and they're brawling, and all those spots where you think they're going to go through the table, but they don't, and they're missing, whatever, and then Alexa Bliss power bombs Nikki into the table, or just throws her into the table over her head, and abrupt ending, but that's exactly what you get with tables matches. You never know. One super kick, the guy falls down onto the table, 1, 2, 3, or you just poke him in the eye, they fall down. That's the end of the match. But it is what it is. I'm glad Alexa won, and we're probably going to have Alexa versus Nikki in the future. The main event of the night was AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose in a TLC match. Let me get rid of this. This is probably annoying. This video is a shit show. I've messed up so many times, but the pay-per-view itself was amazing. Now, both men looked good. Amazing match. And let's not talk about AJ's butt cheeks. People were talking about AJ's butt cheeks. Oh, did you look at that? Did you? Don't let that be the center of the attention, or just don't forget that. I know it was there for like 15 minutes in your face, like, oh, there's AJ's butt cheek. But forget that. Look at the match. The match was amazing, and I'm glad AJ won. And the Ellsworth heel turn, predictable. Like in the on the pay-per-view earlier in the night, Dean Ambrose is being interviewed backstage, and he basically, like, I don't know who the interviewer was. I think it was Dasha, and she asks Dean Ambrose, how's Ellsworth? And he says, I don't know. He's probably okay. He's doing whatever. And I was like, shouldn't he be checking on him? Maybe they can build it off of that. Firstly, Ellsworth's first excuse is, I beat Styles 3 times before. I think I've got his number. I can beat him the 4th time. And when Ambrose is like, no, you can't beat him, and then Ambrose gets pissed off, he can just say, oh, guess what? I was in the hospital. You never called me. You never texted me. You didn't know how I was doing. You're not a good friend. AJ was right. You were using me. But basically, AJ's going for the championship. Ellsworth comes out. He's distracted. He's Now he's going to beat Ellsworth, but Ambrose saves Ellsworth, and now they're on the ladder again. Styles somehow gets on the ladder again, and Ambrose pushes him off. He goes outside the ring. Ambrose is easily going to take the championship. Now he climbs the ladder. In comes Ellsworth, throws him, and he goes through 2 tables. Amazing, simple heel turn, predictable, but it still looked good. AJ Styles got the championship after that. He looked confused, like, why did the stupid idiot, gimmick infringement, hurt Chris Jericho? Why did the stupid idiot help me? But, let's see what happens on Tuesday. Tuesday, Ellsworth is getting a shot against AJ Styles. So let's see where this goes from here. Now, final thoughts, I'd say it was a solid pay-per-view. Loved it. As I said, I had high expectations, and that is exactly what I got from it. And it was better than Raw pay-per-views. It's surely better than Roadblock. Fuck Roadblock. Forget Roadblock. It's not even going to come close to this. I'm saying it already. The Wyatt family looks strong, and can't wait to see where they go from here. Just amazing. Randy Orton and Bray, and I'm glad Bray got his first ever title. And just amazing storyline. Simple, amazing, beautiful. 3 words to describe this pay-per-view. Not TLC. Simple, amazing, and beautiful. Amazing. SAB. S-A-B. Not TLC. So Nikki, I'm glad Nikki won. She needed a win. But I just want to see where Carmella goes from here. We're going to get Nikki versus Asuka. Nikki versus Natalya. Becky versus Alexa Bliss rematch. Where's Carmella going to go? Maybe Carmella versus Naomi, but we'll see what happens. The Miz, I'm not going to say a lot. I'm just going to say The Miz is fucking awesome. Keep the title on him. Just keep the fucking title on him for 15 years. I don't care. He's amazing. Corbin was impressive. It was great. And I think 2017 is going to be his year if he does not get drafted to fucking Monday Night Raw. I hope he stays at SmackDown, because SmackDown, it's really helping Baron Corbin. And if he works on his mic skills, he is the total package. And that's what worries me, because Vince McMahon is going to be like, oh, look at this guy. He's tall, he's big, he can talk, he can wrestle. Bring him over to Raw. Fuck that. I don't want him on Raw. I hope he stays on SmackDown. Alexa won the championship. Totally deserved it. Totally. I went online on Facebook. People were like, oh, she doesn't deserve it. Triple H has ruined this company with NXT. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You don't understand wrestling. You don't know what wrestling. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not a Nikki Bella fan. She won. I'm happy for her because I understand wrestling. I understand they're building her up as this big baby face. And she's going to face Alexa Bliss. I get it, and I respect that. There's going to be story to it. I don't have to like it, but I can respect it. And so should you. You don't have to like Alexa, but respect what she has done. Fuck that NXT bullshit, yo. Triple H is ruining this. Yep, Triple H is ruining WWE with Nakamura, with the Revival, with DIY, with American Alpha, with fucking Samoa Joe, with fucking Bobby Roode, with Austin Aries, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, fucking Dean Ambrose. Yeah, Triple H is ruining WWE. Brilliant. Go fuck yourself. Now again, the pay-per-view was predictable. A good heel turn for Ellsworth, though, I'll say that. The main highlight, I guess, of the pay-per-view. But predictable yet enjoyable pay-per-view. And it was fun. Not excited about Roadblock or Monday Night tonight, since it's Monday morning, so it's going to be Raw tonight. Don't really give a fuck about Raw. Holy shit, Raw is boring. You want to watch Raw? See, there's a lot of people who watch Raw and they're like, oh, we've seen 3 hours of wrestling this week, we're not going to watch SmackDown. You know what? Fuck it. Just watch SmackDown, and for Raw, just go on YouTube, or if you have the network, go on the network, go to Chris Jericho's parts, or go on YouTube, search up Raw and the date, WWE Raw, whatever the date is, Chris Jericho. That's all you need to watch. Forget Raw. Fucking terrible. I'm excited for SmackDown this Tuesday. Ellsworth versus AJ Styles. It's going to be, Ellsworth's not going to win the WWE Championship, but I want to see what Dean Ambrose does in this match. Amazing pay-per-view. Loved it. Cannot wait for Royal Rumble. Fuck Roadblock. And before Royal Rumble, we're getting the Takeover. And before all that, this Wednesday, if I'm not wrong, is it this Wednesday? I think it is. The NXT show they taped in Osaka, Japan. Nakamura won. Nakamura won. Joe's gonna be number 30 in Royal Rumble. Can't wait for it. I'll see you at the Monday Night Raw review. My first ever Monday Night Raw review. Fucking 3 hours long. I'm not gonna go through everything. This video itself is 25 minutes long. Fucking Raw is gonna be 3 hours. I don't want to go through everything. I'll see you maybe tomorrow, maybe earlier tonight. Later tonight. I can't talk. I'm sleepy. I don't sleep all night. I sleep at 2 p.m. and then wake up at 8 or whatever. So I'll see you later at night or maybe tomorrow. Please subscribe. Add me on Facebook. The link's in the description box below. We talk wrestling. I fucking love SmackDown. I fucking love YouTube. I fucking love coming here making videos. And please subscribe. And AJ fucking won. Oh, I thought I ended the video.